Good morning, everybody. Welcome to today's 1 Million by 1 Million Strategy Roundtable for Entrepreneurs. 1 Million by 1 Million, as you know, is the first global virtual accelerator in the world. Our mission is to help 1 million entrepreneurs reach $1 million and beyond in annual revenue. We run this out of Silicon Valley, but as you will see, we have a global footprint, and today we have people from all over the world as well. This roundtable is our 304th session of the free public roundtables that we do week after week after week, and we've been doing it for years, as you can imagine from just the episode count. The recording will be available after the show, and you will be able to access it on our blog as well as on our YouTube channel. If you're live tweeting the show, please use the hashtag 1M1M. And join us on Twitter at 1M by 1M and at Romana. We publish a lot of interesting content. The YouTube channel is 1M1M Roundtables. These are the call-in instructions. We're not quite ready for call-in yet, but I will put those up again later. But as you're going through the program with us, please line up your questions. We want you to participate. This is a roundtable, so we absolutely want you to participate as much as possible. Ask questions, engage, raise issues, etc. Now, to those of you who are going to be pitching today, I want you to know a few things. First and foremost, we are here because we want you to succeed and we are on your side. We have no other agenda whatsoever of being here and making this kind of a program, a forum available for so many entrepreneurs around the world. And this is a working session. We are going to try our best to give you, elements and nuggets and guidance with which you can make decisions, strategic decisions, and you can accelerate your journey. It is very possible that you might disagree with what my feedback would be today, but that's okay. All I ask is you consider the feedback. Don't feel bad about it. There is always different perspectives. My perspective is based on my experience. Yours is based on your experience. So there could very well be, divergences. And the point of all this is for all of us to learn from one another. There are a lot of people in the room, and people weigh in with different perspectives, and it's always okay to listen and consider those perspectives. One thing I would like you to remember: entrepreneurship does not equal financing. We see this over and over again as entrepreneurs come with this mental model that entrepreneurship equals financing. Not all businesses can raise money. Raising money does not guarantee success, and not all businesses should raise money. So there's a whole complex decision tree that you're going to have to apply to your business, and that's something that we can help you figure out the nuances of, but don't have this mental block that you have to raise money and you ought to raise money. That's not necessarily true. If you're not pitching, do ask questions in the public chat or by dialing in later on. Asking good questions is how you engage, how you learn more. So it's very important that you do engage. We're going to start with Nikola Deshkov. Nikola, if you could unmute your line and tell us what you're doing. Nikola is from Sofia, Bulgaria. Nikola, are you there? What's going on? Yes, now we can hear you. Go on.
Just give me a second because it's a little bit wild. I was in the car making the presentation. Just sick. Okay, I'm ready.
Go ahead. Your slides are on. You just tell me when you want them in advance.
What's that?
Your slides are on the screen. Just tell us when you want them advanced.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Hello, Romana Mitra. I hope you're doing well. My name is Nikola Dechkov. I'm co-founder and business developer of Place to Sport. Place to Sport is a sports social platform organized like a game, which enables you to easily reserve the desired venue for your sport event. Can we switch to the slide?
Yeah.
Thank you. I used to go to play soccer with my friends at some mini football fields. But you know what every time happens? It happens that the field is either reserved or occupied, and the communication with my friends goes around like 2 weeks before the sports event, before the actual game on Facebook, and it's super irritating. That's why we decided to make that platform called Place to Sport. About the value propositions and the customers. Can we switch again? Thank you. We provide software as a service to our customers, which are the fields, the sports fields, and to our users, we provide an online reservation platform. And as I said in the beginning, the platform is organized like a game for the users. So basically, every user profile is like a virtual card index. So in every user, for example, I registered in our platform and I go to play soccer with my friends here and there, and after that basketball and so on and so on. After every game, you raise your rating and you gain points about joining game because of joining these games.
Nicola, let me clarify something that I didn't quite get. Are you trying to create a repository on your platform of all the different venues where people can go and play amateur sports, and you're creating a reservation system for those venues? Is that what you're trying to do?
Yep.
Okay.
From the side for the users, it's a reservation platform. From the side for the customers, which are the fields, the sports facilities, it's an online reservation system of business management optimization, as we can see in the slide, and as well they can get advertised on the platform. So these are the value propositions for them. The market, as we saw on the previous slide, is there are 1.5 million amateur players in Bulgaria only, and in whole Europe there are like 90 million people. Can we switch to the next slide, please? Thank you.
Keep going.
The next slide? Yeah, awesome. Thank you. So our target until next year, February, is to work already with 200 venues from 800 in Bulgaria. And in the long term, we're going to be targeting Europe's market, which is 320,000 sports venues. In the beginning now, we're focused on 4 sports. That's soccer, mini football, mini soccer, basketball, volleyball, and tennis courts. How we're going to go to the market? By taking part in the organization of sport events via our partners. Is it going to be full, partners for the events that we're organizing, or basically via our partners, via the social media, because that's how we reach our users, so they can go and register on our platform, and via organizing sport tournaments in different universities here in Sofia, in the capital of Bulgaria, and not only in the university, on the big fields as well. That's the strategy. We were part of a pre-accelerator here in Bulgaria from a non-profit organization that was organizing it. And in the beginning, it was just an idea. After that, we got our MVP. After that, we reached the MVP was a landing page on which we got our validation, which was 320 subscribed emails and connections with some sports organizations and sports facilities. Shall we go ahead? After that, we signed a partnership with Sportumo, which is a company that provides ERP software for sports facilities all around Europe, but not yet in Bulgaria. So we're going to be the ones that are going to be integrating it or implementing it in Bulgaria. And before just 2 weeks, can we switch the slide, please? And before just 2 weeks, we got our beta version ready, and you can go ahead and try it. And that, I guess, that's from me. Thank you for the time.
What is the pricing model for this?
Oh yeah, no. What's the business model? So basically, our customers, which are the sports facilities, we charge them 5% commission for every reservation via our platform, and as well, they pay for the ERP software and the online reservation system, because basically most of the sports facilities, like 90% of the sports facilities, are working and inputting their information on Excel, Microsoft Excel, which is, I can call it just old school. And the platform makes it a lot more easier. Yep. Go ahead.
So right now, you said your target is the 200 sports facilities in Bulgaria, and you're starting with soccer. How many of these sports facilities are you in contact with, and how many of them have agreed to buy your software or be beta sites for your software?
So far, we have made contact with only like 15, 20 facilities that agreed, and we're still in process. I mean, like, we're still expanding in the facilities which are going to be using our platform here in Sofia, in the capital. After that, around whole Bulgaria, because it's a little bit slow, because all the team members are students. I'm a student as well, and we have our studies. We're working in other companies, so we're doing it step by step.
And do you have a sense of what, let's say these 15 or 20 sports facilities that you have talked to, if you were to roll them out, do you have a sense of how much revenue each of them would be generating? Like what is going to be their, how many games, what is the revenue per game, how much do they get paid per game, etc.? Have you done an analysis of what size of a market are we talking about here?
I can tell you for Europe, it's like 1.5 billion.
Where is that coming from?
Okay.
Is that based on a?
I don't remember.
Hold on. Is that based on a bottom-up analysis?
No, there are other guys that were our mentors in the pre-accelerator. They did a startup nearly the same like this, like ours, before, but they failed, and they kind of helped us with some of the information and statistics.
No, but I want you to come up with a bottom-up analysis, bottom-up market size analysis. It's called bottom-up total available market analysis, TAM. And I would like you to go figure out from the people you're talking to, as you're talking to them, you need to get this data of how many games, what do they get paid per game, what does it mean for you to get 5% commission out of those, and what is going to be the revenue that you can make from each of these people that you're talking to. And if you do this across a couple of hundred companies that you're working with, and get to a full understanding of what is it that you're doing for each of these fields, you will have a much better sense of what is the scope of the business that you're building. I don't buy this 1.5 billion number, I'm sorry. And you're telling me that these people have failed. I don't know why they have failed. You need to understand why they have failed, but 1.5 billion to me sounds like too big a number.
Yep, definitely, it's like that. And like, it just came randomly to my mind, and I remember it. They failed because they were focused mostly on matching people, not on the organization of the event, of the sport event.
I much prefer, Nicola, I much prefer your model of selling to the field. But you really need to understand the mathematics and the financial equation of doing these deals and what these deals mean for you. So I would say that's one of the immediate things that you need to do as part of your validation process is really understand what is the business that you're building here.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
That was reasonable and valuable feedback. Thank you for that.
You're very welcome.
Do I have some time to ask you another question?
Sure, go ahead.
It's not connected to Place to Sport.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm working on another project as well. It's a co-working space. Do you have some experience in building or, yeah, as a whole, in building a co-working space, or can you give me some, I don't know, advices on that? If you have experience in that, if
so
you
have,
I don't know. Yep.
We have experience of working with some co-working spaces who use the 1 million by 1 million incubator in a box to kind of differentiate their co-working spaces. If that's something that you're interested in doing, you can talk to Irina Patterson on our team. Maureen, can you give Nicola Irina's email address in the public chat? So I would ask you to take that conversation offline with Irina.
Okay. Awesome.
All right.
Thank you. Thank you for your time.
You're very welcome.
Thank you for your time. Thank you for the opportunity.
Okay. Great. Kumar Saurav Johnny, you're up next. Travel Spells is the company.
Yeah, very much in. Hi, Sumana. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
So, if you guys can hear me well, then well, the problem that or the challenge that we were working on, the challenge that we faced earlier when we were planning our travels was actually to be able to decide to the next travel plan quickly before we get demotivated by the number of sites that have scattered information and the number of media that we have. Moreover, if you want to know what this place is all about, you want to learn the culture and the locals, it becomes even more harder to actually find that information at one place, and the decision-making process becomes really, really long. So I'm Saurabh. I'm co-founder of travelspells.com, and this is one of the major problems that we are trying to address from travelers' perspective. Other thing from our partners or the people who operate on the ground, it's very hard for them to actually work on commission models. Though our OTAs are doing a good work to bring them the traffic, but commission is actually killing them, and you can see that throughout the world, right? Secondly, from a traveler's perspective, the proposition of just showcasing the itinerary is not good enough to build that trust and confidence that the place that I'm going to visit is going to be exactly or similar to what I'm expecting, right? So what we thought of is to create a context-based, story-based proposition for our partners where they actually create a story that we call a spell, which is combination of the text and the media and played in a logical fashion, which helps people, different travelers, make a better decision and quick decisions. With this spell, besides the content from the suppliers and partners, we also are bringing in the content from the crowd, for instance, the crowd videos, the crowd reviews to this particular platform so that we can build more trust on it. So this is the gap that we plan to fill as part of this proposition. Next slide, please. Yep. So this particular platform for the travelers will save time, considering that when we talk about the fallout from dreaming stage of travel to actually planning, and then from planning to booking, multiple fallouts are because one of the main reasons for them is the time investment from the people. There's a huge time investment, and that's why they go for a different agent if they can to save that particular time. Second, value for money. So from the perspective of our partners, one partner may be selling a proposition at, for instance, $2,000. The second partner may be selling similar kind of proposition at $1,300. But there is no platform that can tell that what is the value for the money that the traveler is going to spend on this offering, on this opportunity. right? So the platform actually enables our partners to showcase what is comprised of this offering and why is it going to cost this much, and give some reasonable logic behind it. For instance, if there are multiple people, there are multiple partners who are arranging local events. So they take our travelers to go to different locations, enjoy the local community, talk with local people, go with local transport. But it is not showcased anywhere, be it in OTA, be it other partner platforms like Chilopedia and all these adventure platforms. So sharing culture is also one of the most important things. And a trend that we see today is that most of the inbound travels that are happening, this culture understanding and understanding the locals, be with them and know what exactly is there. That learning puts a context to the travel, and when we are talking about an image or a video that you have taken, that context actually stitches and creates memories. So these are the three things that we plan to bring. We are bringing rather with this platform. Next slide, please.
So before you go on, Kumar, let's see if we got what you're trying to say. And by the way, in terms of this presentation, I would urge you to do something with a bit more of a use case kind of description. So are we talking about, when you're talking about save time, you're talking about the travel planning phase, yes?
Correct.
And the value proposition is for the consumer who is doing the travel planning, and your site is creating the, trying to make the travel planning easy, or there's somebody on the other end who is trying to make money? I guess I don't understand what is the basis of this business.
Okay, so from the traveler side, first phase that we have taken is that the propositions, that offerings that our partners or the ground operators have, they should be showcasing in a way that actually incites traveler, right? There should be visual representation of that.
It's a consumer side. It's a traveler who's coming to your site and planning travel, booking travel, and then publishing what their experiences.
Yes, so first phase, this is the second phase, Ramana, of this product. So at the first, right now, we are at the first phase where we are bringing those experiences from our partners. And the second phase is travelers will be able to build those experiences on top of the information that we have and ask for the quotations from different providers on their experiences so that they can get better rates.
Okay.
Yep. And one of the reasons that we went with visual experience, that is one of the differentiators, is that most of the sites that we see which have better visual platforms are converting the customers better. They have better site visits, and they are growing day by day. Second is that there are multiple surveys that insist that if the content is the visual representation of your offering and the content is better, then the customer engagement increases, because a good picture can help him understand what can they expect out of the proposition. And these analysis are from the players like TripAdvisors or Leonardo's of travel platforms, right? So these are the market validations. And from our perspective, what we did was to conduct minor research and analysis from our end, as we talked to different people as well as our partners, that what are the key factors where they decide the price. Price is obviously a standard factor. And the roofing majority actually told that if you can tell me that what am I going to do there, and you can support that, then we should be able to understand and decide much faster. So that was one of the core things that came up in our analysis. So that's the validation we did before we jumped into it.
So I'll tell you something that I just recently published a piece about travel planning, the problem of travel planning, and what my dream application is. You're not addressing any of my concerns or any of my needs, and that's to me that's kind of a red flag, because nothing that you're saying appeals to me. from a traveler point of view. And I'm in the middle of this right now, and Maureen, can you cut and paste the link of the travel planning blog post that I just made? I actually gave the whole spec of exactly what I need in my travel planning, and you're not hitting any of those. So
let me if you have little time, let me tell you what this tool will do for you. We'll go to the link. This tool will actually help you plan your travel day by day. For instance, I'm going to this particular location. This is the map of your location, right? And then on the day one, these are the things that I'm going to do. You can attach your image as well as your text into it. And you can actually say that in the morning I'll be doing this, or I have already done this in case you are blogging it in the way. And then in the evening I'm doing this, or have done that, and support it with add your content, media content to it. And you can create a day-by-day itinerary or day-by-day plan of yours, and you can share it with anybody, for instance. And it can be supported. If you add, you will have ability to add your locations, and a map will automatically populate to tell whoever is visiting that where are the places that this particular traveler has gone, and what have they experienced, for instance. What are the learnings that you have done, for instance, in that. So have you done a bullet card, right, just for the sake of example? And what are the challenges that you face, for instance? So what were things that were you thinking that it will be there, it won't there? What are your disappointments? You will be able to rate to a level of each and every activity. For instance, you did the river rafting at some specific place. You can rate at that particular level. And we are going to collect those data those data points in case it is allowed, and in case the spell creator or the story creator allows. We will create those collect those data points to refine to help our partners define those propositions and help other travelers to build better itineraries. So that is something.
So right now, when you start this company, when you launch this site, how are you going to provide what you're saying you're going to provide?
So one thing, Samana, that we are doing is we are connecting with the partners who have a lot of content with them. So we are trying to create. That's why we associated ourselves with partners first before approaching and giving this platform to the travelers.
But nobody has this material, right? No, see, for example, I'll give you an example of what is tricky about what you're talking about. Let's say. For one person, a day's itinerary looks like this. Like if you look at travel guides actually spell out stuff like a day in this region of the city, a day in this region of the city, this part of the city. There are stuff like that in travel guides already. But somebody needs to configure all this, and then the other piece of complexity there is people stay in hotels in different parts. So for each traveler, depending on which hotel or which Airbnb or where that person is staying, it has to be configured. The rest of the kind of plan, the itinerary needs to configure accordingly, one. Two, there are budget issues. So depending on the budget level of the traveler, the itinerary needs to be configured accordingly, which means the restaurants in particular are going to need to be configured accordingly. Then the third thing is what are their interests? Is culture part of their interests, in which case there are concerts and performing arts and so forth, and that needs to be configured accordingly. So, I mean, it's not something canned that you can just plug in and because the canned stuff already exists. If I want to look at, a travel guide, many of the travel guides have, okay, so you want to spend some time in the 6-star arrondissement in Paris. Here's a bunch of things you can do. Here's a nice itinerary, a walking tour of the 6-star arrondissement, something like that. But if you want to do this on the fly, custom every time, customized to the requirements of a particular traveler based on location, based on budget, based on interest, that's a much more complex algorithmic process.
Indeed, I think I absolutely agree with you, Samana. It is complex, right? And though we
and as far as I know, that actually does not exist out there.
Which is good for us. But, and it is complex. I mean, with the approach that we are taking at the moment, for instance, we are trying to hook up with the providers like Audio Compass in India. They have really good audio travel guides, right? And they have a good content. So we are working with them to understand what can we get out of this. We are also building a behavioral engine that tries to understand the behavior of the visitor or the traveler, unless he or she has already given it to us as part of the login. So we are trying to build the content at the moment at the very nascent stage. That's why we are trying
Kumar, what do you go by, Kumar or Saurav?
You can call me Saurav, that's not a problem. You can call me anything.
Okay. Saurav, so here's first question. Are you a traveler? Do you have a lot of travel experience?
Yeah. I'm fairly okay traveler.
So you don't have a lot of travel experience?
Depends on what is lot, but yeah, you can say so.
Okay, so this is the problem, right? That means that you're going to need to first talk to a bunch of, you're trying to find a solution to your problem that you do not understand very well. Because I'll tell you, and I am an extensive traveler, and this is an absolute passion for me. So I can, if you go read, there are 2 posts that I just recently wrote. Both are travel-related posts, travel-related requirements analysis of apps that would help me, and people who do travel extensively plan their travels.
Right.
And they're, spelled out very extensively, specced out very extensively. And the one on travel planning, my sense is that you're going about it the wrong way because you don't actually viscerally understand what the consumer's problem is. Because actually, the content that is of most interest actually is in the travel guides. Some of that is online already, some of that is not necessarily online, but there are tons of travel guides that have researched every single place on earth. However, they're not searchable and configurable in the way that I was talking about. So if you can bring together that content in a way that is, and structure it in a way, you are going to need to strike deals with this travel guides and so forth to bring that content into your system. But if you can do that, and if you can create a system that has the algorithmic ability to customize something and personalize something, that is of value. What you were talking about, to me, so far, doesn't have value because that's available elsewhere. And you can't, this is a very mature time in the travel app and travel site industry. This is 2016, end of April. The internet has been around for more than 20 years. And travel has been one of the most active categories where people have built apps and sites and so forth. So you can't come up with something that is wishy-washy and not compelling. So my suggestion to you would be to take the blog post that I have published, and Maureen has put that in the public chat. Maureen, could you also put the Travelog one? There are 2 posts that you should study, and take that as your starting point. I'll be happy to, give you more feedback on what you need to build. And also you should interview more people who have extensive travel experience and have done extensive travel planning themselves. Because unless you bring that experienced traveler perspective into your app, you're going to build something that is not very interesting for people. And that's not going to get you any traction.
Fair enough.
Okay? And there is a process of doing all this, right? The whole validation process, requirements gathering process, everything, by definition, from a best practices in product development point of view, product design point of view, is to work with people who have experience in a particular domain. So you should not be building a travel app without having the input of, thousands of expert travelers, experienced travelers. We all know that the, travel market is big. So if you can come up with a compelling app, a compelling value proposition, there will be takers for it. I believe people will be even willing to pay for the app itself, for the service itself, because today, people end up paying guides, huge amounts of money to plan their travel itinerary and so forth, guides who have local knowledge. So if you can, you can charge some amount of money from these people just for your app, if the app is well designed and so forth. But that app needs to be really well designed. And you can't really come up with something wishy-washy. And I would like you to really take what I have published as a starting point and start building from there.
Sure, we'll have a look at that.
Okay. All right, terrific. Yeah. So if you want, you can complete the rest of your presentation on market size and so forth. I think it's a good discipline for you to go ahead with the presentation. Let's listen to the presentation. I'll give you more feedback as you go through that.
Sure. Thanks for that. So from the market size perspective, we researched at how many businesses, tourism businesses are there worldwide. And there are 2.5 million plus tourism businesses. And when we talk about experience and the storytelling, the more closer businesses are adventure package tours and resorts or experiential resorts. So that is the market segment that we were targeting with us, that was 750,000. And out of that, we were taking a small segment of 20,000 when we talk about the span of 4 to 5 years with us. Next slide, please. So with that 20,000 businesses, when we saw and we said there are on an average they have approximately 10 stories to tell on an average, and we are charging $40 per story, which is and if you talk about the booking commission versus subscription, a normal standard commission for one booking is approximately $20 to $30. Right? So if we can bring more traffic to these guys, the $40 per spell will automatically be covered. Secondly, from our cost perspective, when we did our cost analysis, we found out that at this particular juncture, our cost per spell comes around $25. And if we go further, and with the help of technology and integrations and with different partners, different technology partners with us, we will be able to reduce that cost further. And at that particular time, we'll see if we can pass that benefit to our partners also, our spell partners also.
So let me see if I understood you. Sorry, just a second. Let me see if we understood you. You're saying that there are these, by tourism businesses, are you talking about tour operator businesses, package tour kind of operator businesses?
These are hotels, and that means accommodation, agents, adventures, resorts, and tours, all the businesses.
So all combined is 2.5 million. What is the 750,000?
750,000 are just adventure and package tours plus experiential resorts.
Okay, adventure and package tour. That's the segment that you want to focus on. And right. What is the 20,000? Right. How do you segment out the 20,000 from there?
So 20,000, Samana, is so we are in India at the moment. We are planning to, depending on the feedback, we are planning to scale up. So we're thinking that in the duration of 5 years, if we go ahead and slim slick our platform, we should be able to reach 20,000 businesses we should be able to serve 20,000 businesses from our platform.
I see. So that's your target number of people out of these 750,000 that you want to bring onto as customers, bring onto you as customers.
Right.
Okay. And here, what you're saying is that you're going to have each of these 20,000 package tour kind of businesses publish 10 stories each, 10 kind of experiences, stories based on experiences. And then that is the content based on which you can do SEO and attract customers and then convert them into bookings and take a commission of that booking. That's your business model.
Yeah, so we are not going commission model, Sumana. This is a subscription model. So per spell that they are hosting with us, we are charging $40 to them. So in this $40, it's not just the hosting cost. We are also giving them, for instance, the ability to slice and dice data and target their customers. We are also giving them payment integration, confirmation emails. We're also giving them analytics. Just for instance, they can see that what should be the next trip that I should create to attract these many customers, for instance.
Okay.
We are
but
also,
you are also,
yeah, so these are the things. Yeah.
But you're committing to them to bring them the traffic. They're doing this because their expectation is that you're going to deliver the consumer to them.
Right.
Right? Okay, great. So this part actually I like. I think it's kind of interesting what you're trying to do here from an SEO point of view and everything. I think the part that you have to work out is the other end of delivering on that value proposition of actually bringing the consumers onto your site and be able to deliver on that value proposition. Right. That's the part that needs a lot more work. I think your idea of getting these tour operators to work with you, to participate with you, and create a way for them to, recruit customers is an interesting one. I think the piece where you need to do more work is to figure out what is the user experience that is going to actually attract people to come to your site and interact with this site.
Right. Thanks for that, Mama.
Okay.
And what we have compared here are the sites that are helping our travelers right now with their travels,
yeah,
and that have a little better visual experience and a little better content rather than, again, some OTA, standard OTA, right? So these are the sites that are bringing visual experience, for instance, Googlebot, Zcasto, they are good at it. Headouts, and the other contemporary and orthodox channels are, in our case, Trilopedia, White, Travel Triangle, Creatives, and all. So if you see the vertical axis, visual experience, text content, the Googlebots are better, and these are the guys who are actually have started gaining more traffic and traction slowly and steadily. In last 6 months, they have gained on an average of 60 to 80% of traffic on their sites. And if you see commission versus subscription, why we did subscription was because we wanted to create partnerships with these providers. As soon as you talk about commissions, the problem is that they will take us as a wire route, right? And the traffic is the only concern with the people booking. Whereas when we talk about subscription, the initial interactions that we had with our current partners was that's okay, if you have the subscription, let me create something for which works for us both. And that can showcase my passion, whatever I'm trying to build, and showcase my passion to the traveler. And to that an extent where they are actually marketing for us within their own event. So they say that, okay, you go to this particular site, this is the widget that they will plug into their site and say that, request the customers or visitors to say that, click here to experience whatever my proposition is. So to that an extent, we are spreading our traction or our visitors, gaining the visitors through our partners also. So that's where TravelSpell lies in this vertical and horizontal scale. Next slide, please. So competitive advantage, Sumana, is that the way we are selling or the way we are showcasing the content is entirely different, right? The content is widespread. It is there. It's not that it's not there. But the way we are contextualized and put a story to it, and the way we are designing or displaying it is entirely different, right? Secondly, when you talk about subscription, it's from a partner's perspective, it's not there right now. Everybody is on the commission. And you know, you are very well versed with travel. Commission is something that is really, really hitting their necks at the moment. So that is something that's first for them. Integrated information, when we talk about this, is that besides the partner, it is also sourced by the crowd, as I mentioned, reviews and other media. By empowerment, as we said, it's all about partnerships. So when we are talking about analytics, our intention is to help them grow because that will help us grow. We are also curating the content. If you see the adventure as a market or tour as a market, it is not as organized from a content perspective as hotels and airs, right? So it's very hard to expand expand our partners. In case partner says that I want to take the content and showcase it some other site, then they have to recreate the content as per the site's demand. Right now, we are creating APIs for them that they can utilize that API and send that content wherever they want to. Common other thing that we have at the moment, we are all the founders are extra velocity accelerator classmates. So and we were with velocity for the last 10 years. So we have some insights on how the industry is working, what do people want, how do people travel. That is something that we treat as competitive advantage. Next slide, please.
And how are you going to go about coverage? Like, are you going to have lots of providers in a particular geography, a particular destination, and build up expertise in that destination across a bunch of different providers, storytellers as you call them? Or are you going to get one anchor storyteller per geography and build up coverage across different destinations?
So for a start, Samana, we are targeting one destination, one kind of activity, where the partner is as passionate as we think that he should be. So one partner, one activity, and get the best partner from there, and then go on and build. So once, and then go on, further on, if we want to bring some kind of competition, obviously to make sure that customers and travelers are getting the best deals, we'll start bringing other providers also. So, but at the first, this is what our approach is.
Okay, so, but you're going to, this is going to be a time-consuming affair to bring in these storytellers, and so you're going to gradually build up content in different destinations across different providers, and frankly, my read is that you're going to find that if there's one storyteller that becomes your anchor tenant, let's say, for one destination, and starts actually seeing good traction, it will be easier for you to get the other storytellers, other tour guides, and etc. for that destination to come on and join on to the bandwagon and develop that destination, than kind of starting up new destinations constantly. So you have to achieve a balance basically across those two strategies. Because if you have success with one destination and one partner, other people who play in that industry would want to sign on to your site. That would be actually an easier way for you to grow the business, because ultimately you want each of these partners to subscribe and put in content so that you become richer as a destination from a content point of view.
Good point, Samana. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So, going ahead quickly, from market adoption, at the moment, what we have done so far is that we have, thankfully to our partners who have started promoting us in their own events. For instance, just for the sake of example, a very recent event for Great Himalayan Challenge is coming up. We have partnered with iCycle, who is doing that event, and they are promoting our content, our site in that event. Then from a partner platform perspective, as we said that it is a mutual growth, we are creating widgets where they can use the widgets in their own platform that can direct traffic to our platform. From digital marketing, we are doing some kind of digital and social campaigns. We haven't started full-fledged on that. At the moment, we do not have enough marketing money to go for media, running media, and but
you don't need to do any of that. This is an SEO business. This is a search engine optimization business. You just need to get enough partners to produce enough content, and then the content kind of should be able to harness traffic on its own.
Lovely. Yeah, that's what we hope.
You don't need to do any of this stuff. What you need to do, however, is very, systematically identify which areas, which destinations you want to build content around, and find the right people to partner with for those destinations. Those are biz dev deals. Those are not digital marketing deals. Those are biz dev deals. And you need enough of those. You need critical mass of those to build up your content.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
Next, please. So quickly, I'm the founder. Patil is. We all three are technologists. We are hands-on, and we have been with our industry for the last 10 years. We have hired a few of the guys to help us with our cause, and you can find us on LinkedIn. We have all the links there.
Are you doing this full-time, or are you doing this on the side with the job?
We are doing it full-time. So we all left our job last year, September. And since then, we have been bootstrapping. And this is the time when we have already launched our pilot. And we have started onboarding the partners. And last 2 weeks, we have onboarded approximately 20 partners ourselves. But as and when we grow, we have to have people to help us with this.
And you were launched in, you're based in Bangalore?
Yes, we are based in Bangalore, yeah.
Okay.
So we have the pilot has been launched in last 2.5 weeks back. The purpose of the pilot launch is to get the feedback from partners and see the initial traction from the known sources, unknown sources. We haven't actually showcased our proposition anywhere so far, and we plan to close the pilot by end of May, where we launch the public beta. That's where we will start doing campaigns, etc., and start building the content, and we'll hope that you will help us on that. That's the state that we are in at the moment.
Okay.
And that's it from our end.
All right. Well, I've given you quite a bit of feedback as we talked, so you're going to need to decide what you do with that feedback. I love travel, so it's a huge passion area for me. Good luck.
Thanks a lot, Shamana, for your time and input. Cheers. Take care.
You're welcome. Okay, folks, we're going to skip through to Rishikesh next. Rishikesh, here we go.
Yes, hello, am I audible?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, yes, okay. So my name is Rishikesh Kamath. I'm from Pune, India. And like I have said, some fun facts about me. So basically coming to the point, Shalaka Technologies is my startup. And we are into industrial IoT considering the hardware focus. Because in India, there are many companies that are into analytical and middleware. But we are focused on the hardware side. So these, telling you, and come to the point. There are many industries in India that do not have a proper monitoring system. Like in case of data centers, let's consider data center. Then they have huge server racks, but they have no temperature monitoring system, humidity, power. Then in some factories that I went, there is a lot of energy that is emitted due to sparking. So that all has to be prevented, and there is no monitoring system for that. Secondly, there is too much human intervention going on. As in many factories and industries where I found, the data that is obtained from the machine is stored locally on the machine. So there is a person who visits the place, connects his pen drive or connects the device and pulls out the data. There are systems existing, but they are very, they are the type of retrofits. So we cannot say that they are standardized systems, but people have made rigged up hardware using an Arduino or a Raspberry Pi. And the new part, that is the IoT that is going on right now, is in such a way that you can actually collect this data, you can control these machines sitting remotely. So we have some case studies in which we have helped industries in and around my city to network their machinery or to network their office spaces in such a way that they can monitor, the various parameters. So data centers and manufacturing industries are our key clients. Next slide, please. Okay, so the solution that we have made is, this is a hardware platform. It has a microcontroller. You can connect multiple sensors to it, and it has a multiple communication interface on the other end. So basically what we have done is, it all began with a friend of mine who has a data center. And his data center is not that efficient, as in there are a lot of crashes. Basically, this is due to improper maintenance. And what he said is that the critical point in this temperate zone is that the temperature shoots up very high. So here in his data centers, he has around 8 to 9 air conditioners, and his monthly bill, is a lot of. His monthly bill is too much compared to the infrastructure that he runs. So what the prototype solution that we have given for him, that we have given him a device which you can connect it to your laptop earlier. You can set in a number of recipients, so it can be an email address or a cell phone number. Then you can put in parameter limits, like let's assume that the temperature should not go above 24 degrees and should not be below 22 degrees. So that is an optimum temperature for a data center. And whenever the temperature in that data center used to shoot up or used to drop below, he used to get sufficient alerts and his person used to go and attain the situation. Then we gave him a second model of it where he could control it remotely. So he could turn on and off the air conditioners in the data center sitting remotely from his cabin. So what the result that he got is that instead of running 8 or 9 air conditioners, he was just running 5. And whenever there was a shooting in the temperature, if an air conditioner used to break down, he could turn it on as the spare one or the alternative one, he could turn it on remotely. So that helped him save a lot of money. And the data center is also now working quite good comparative to the previous situation. So once we found out that this was a situation in many data centers, we decided that we'll bring out a product out of this and we'll start approaching those people. So we came up, we put in multiple parameters, as in you could monitor the temperature, humidity, the power. If there is human presence, sometimes at night, somebody used to visit the data center, so the people should be alerted that somebody had visited. Then we had an analysis report in which the temperature, humidity, and all the parameters that could be sensed were reported. So the maintenance team or the person whose data center he was monitoring could get regular reports of how it is being maintained. We have taken care.
Rishikesh, I have a question for you.
Yes, yes.
This problem statement and the solution that you have come up with, is it based on the inputs of one data center owner who's your friend?
No.
Or have you talked to a good number of data center owners?
Yes, we have almost talked with around 25. We have sold this device to 19 people, 19 data center owners. So some of them have multiple data centers in around Pune. So right now, we have been selling this in the past 9 months till now.
Okay,
and
good.
The thing is that. Yeah, the thing is that we have reached a stage where we are getting multiple inquiries, and now executing that has been a challenge for me. It is not that I am looking out for funds right now basically to execute the order. Like recently, I have signed an NDA with Airtel India. So Airtel India have huge data centers around India. And right now I have proof of concept running in for another 5 days are remaining where this device is being tested by Airtel. And in 5 days I'm going to come to know, like, will I be going in for more orders from them. And I'm at such a stage that if I get a multiple order, I may have to reject it because I'm unable to execute it. So that is why I was looking for funds.
Okay, so what is your what is the current revenue level of the company? How long have you been in business? How many customers do you have, etc.?
Yes. Till now, till 2015, we are actually an 11-year-old company. This is the 11th year right now. Okay, it was started by my parents. And initially we were a service-based company because during that time embedded systems was very new to India, and my father, he has a master's degree in embedded electronics, so we started the company, and my mother, she looked after the software of the same, but unfortunately she is no more now. So this is how we began. Until 2015 we were service focused, as in we used to cater pain points as and when we came to know about it. So
what was the revenue of the company? What revenue level did the company operate at for the next 10 years, last 10 years?
Around, yes, it was around 3 to 4 crore turnover.
Okay. And what do you have a bank that you've worked with, the company has worked with for the last 10 years?
Pardon, I didn't get you.
Do you have a bank that you've worked with for the last 10 years?
No.
How come? You don't keep 3 to 4 crores, you don't do 3 to 4 crores for the business without a bank?
I thought that have you worked for a bank? No. We have a bank. So we have been registered with an international bank since the past 11 years now. And till 2008, we had US-based clients for whom we used to do a lot of services. But during this downturn, we had a huge setback. And unfortunately, the partner who was there has duped us for a lot of money. Almost it's $1 lakh.
Okay.
So that was a huge setback for us, and still we are struggling to revive that money. So it's almost been 6-7 years now, and still the negotiations are still going on. And everything, we are a completely private limited company. We have our chartered accountants and company secretaries who look after the account. So everything is clean on paper.
Okay, so my point is, however, that there is a history of working with a bank that the bank has a relationship with this business. So let's say you get the Airtel order. There is a whole concept of banking the order and getting working capital from the bank. So Airtel, being a large company, Airtel is a well-known company. It's it's a big brand. It has huge it's a great balance sheet and everything. So if you can get an Airtel order and take that order to your bank and negotiate a working capital line of credit from the bank, they'll give it to you.
Yeah, actually I'm looking forward towards that, but I don't know what is, even for existing, they are not even providing us overdraft for some situations. I don't know why. Is it the banking system that has gone bad in India? Or
no, but you have to go with an Airtel order. It's not going to happen in vacuum.
Even for previous orders, we have had for our service-based projects, we have had such large orders where we needed around 30-40 lakhs of amount. So whenever we used to approach our banks, they had a lot of unnecessary formalities. I don't know what was going on. And
but that's India. That's how India works. India has a lot of bureaucracy. You have to work with these kinds of organizations. You have to put up with that bureaucracy. But right now, just based on what you've told me, I think that's your only financing mechanism. There is no other financing mechanism other than kind of secondary market debt, which is friends and family and local people who can give you money. This is not a company that is fundable with venture capital.
Okay. So actually, my idea was that we are still working on another version of the same product, for which we are planning to raise some funds so that we can equity based or some angel funding for that. So right now the technology is I guess 1.5 year old. So right now we are trying to shift to some better microcontroller chips and some newer communication protocols. So that is for that product I'm looking towards raising the capital.
I don't think this is going to be angel financeable at the moment. Based on what you've described, I don't think it's an angel financeable situation. You're going to have to use kind of, as I said, bank financing or a secondary market debt for now. This is not ready for equity financing. However, if your data center market validates, and if you can get these large customers like Airtel and so forth, and can create a proven model of that you are doing something for these companies and that is generating a certain amount of revenues, and your revenue model is a scalable revenue model. There's a whole complex nuance of a scalable total available market business, and you are going to need to do that analysis and show that you can get to that. Then there may be equity financing opportunity. I just can't gauge that because you haven't presented that, and you probably don't even know how to do that.
No, ma'am. Actually, what happened is that I had seen a deck that was presented earlier, so I formed it according to that deck. But I've been approaching some investors now, and 2-3 of them are still in the discussion for it might be in the pre-last stage. But for them, I have all the information. So what is the market? How big is the market? in what way we can scale up, with whom I can partner to as channel partners or vendors who can go out and sell for this. So I do have that deck planned with me, but while going through the website, I actually came across a deck model that was available on your site, so I prepared my deck according to that.
Okay. Well, if you're interested in working with 1 million by 1 million, we can coach you through that process. I just cannot assess based on what you've presented right now. I cannot assess,
yes, I can agree.
What is the TAM, what will be the growth rate. I mean, this is a 10-year, 11-year business that has not grown very fast so far, but you were operating on a completely different business model. So right now, what you're proposing to do, it needs to be fleshed out in the format of a model that is being considered for equity financing. You're going to need to do that modeling before I can gauge what should be the right strategy for raising money here.
Okay, no problem, no problem.
Okay, all right.
Yes.
Well, good luck.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Jennifer, you're up next. Jennifer Cook from Santa Barbara.
Is Jennifer Cook. Yes, this is Jennifer. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, perfect. Well, Green Rainbow, the idea behind it, it's a very simple business model. We simply want to provide a product to gain profit. Green Rainbow is cold infused sage coconut oil. It can be used for many different applications. You can cook with it. You can use it for hair. You can use it for skin. It's very simple. I make it myself. We've not launched this product. This is all new for me. My target is to have an active model, an active business by August of 2016. I'd like to use the funding gained from Green Rainbow to fund my primary venture, which is David Gray Servantry. This will give me an opportunity to join the social matrix by providing an online platform for prophetic ministries to be able to express themselves through 4 avenues: prophetic art, prophetic music, prophetic word, and prophetic verse. So I have a very simple business model. I just want to sell my sage coconut oil. I'd like as much help and assistance as possible as far as how the best way to get my website up high on Google search, the best way to use SEO. I'm not sure. I'm new to all of this. So what questions would you possibly have for me?
What questions would I possibly have for you? Okay, what is cold infused organic coconut oil?
Well, we don't use any heat. Heat breaks down the nutritional value in the sage. What we do is I go and forage the sage myself. It grows wild here in Santa Barbara. What we do is we put the sage inside of the coconut oil. You keep it in a closed container. You put it in a dark space for about 30 days. At that point, all of the benefits from the sage will be infused into the coconut oil. When you do that, you can, like I said, you can cook with it. You can use it to moisturize your skin. You can use it to moisturize your hair. It's very simple. It only cost me $1.50 to make this product, and I can sell it anywhere from $8 to $10 per unit.
So this assumption that you can sell it for $8 to $10 per unit, where does that come from? And is it a validated assumption?
Well, it comes from actually putting this in action and different fairs that we have here, farmers markets, different things like that. The comparable product I've seen, rosemary coconut oil, that goes for upwards of $15 to $20 per unit, being sold by other companies. Because I can make it so cheap, it just made sense to me to offer it for $8 to $10, and we found that we've got positive feedback from consumers at this price point.
So why not just go and sell in the farmers market as you're doing right now?
Because I don't have enough access. It's only 2 to 3 times per week, and I'm only limited to the consumers here in my area. I'd like to expose my product worldwide, and so this is why we're getting into the internet. This is why we're getting into digital marketing for this particular product.
Okay, well, it sounds like you have a huge learning curve in front of you.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
So if you're willing to learn, we can teach you how to do all this, but please understand that you're going to have to commit to climbing an immense learning curve.
Yes, ma'am. I am absolutely ready. I'm using my own money to fund where we've gotten so far. This is why I was able to come up with a creative resolution. Let me find a simple product, something that I can produce easily, something that I can produce quickly, and I can produce quite a bit of it at once. The bottles are really, really small, only about 8 ounces each, and I am willing to learn everything that it takes to be successful in this market.
All right. Well, I'm going to spend some time explaining to you how the 1 million by 1 million program works next. So hang on and listen to that and decide if you want to use the program to learn.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Folks, before I jump into that segment of the program, and then we'll do Q&A after that, I have one request from you. If you like what we are doing here, please bring serious entrepreneurs into 1M1M. And the word serious is the operating word, because we really need people who are willing to climb this very steep learning curve. There's a lot of studying and a lot of learning to do to build this, to become a successful entrepreneur. And you just have to come with that mindset of wanting to learn and being able to learn on your own. Entrepreneurs have to be self-starters, have to be self-motivated, and if you're not rigorous, if you don't have that rigor, it's going to be hard for you to be successful. And we want to work with people who have the right mindset and the right level of rigor, and then we can do our magic on those minds, on those fertile minds, to give you all the ammunition and all the water and the fertilizer and everything to make your plants grow. But we do need the right soil and the right mental models to work with. So everything resource-wise you'll find at 1mby1m.com. You'll find a terrific blog to learn from that is free. The Entrepreneur Journeys book series is all available on Amazon Kindle. And this is also a good starting point for learning for those of you who want to start there, and those of you who are readers. Then you can go to the website and you'll find the free public roundtable page, which is this roundtable, and you can follow these roundtables, you can follow them live, you can follow the recordings. This is another body of free material from which you can learn. You need to go to the free public roundtable page and register to pitch or attend. Then we have the premium program, which is the full breadth of the 1 million by 1 million program, where we offer you extensive methodology guidance. We offer you a curriculum that you can learn from, very rapidly, but you do need to commit 50 to 100 hours worth of study time. The curriculum has more than 300 hours worth of material, but you are going to need to commit at least 50 to 100 hours to get on top of the basics so that you can start navigating, start making decisions so forth. We also help you with business development, and this kind of strategy consulting happens extensively in our private roundtables, which are members only for premium members. We help you with financing if you are a fundable company, or if you get to a point where you're fundable. We have extensive media reach, so we also let you access that media reach through which you can get the word out there about your product or service. The premium program is a $1,000 annual membership fee for unlimited access to this entire portfolio of services. The $1 Million Club on the 1M1M website gives you some case studies of success stories from the program, and the quantifying the 1M1M value equation offers an ROI analysis of the premium program. The 1M1M self-assessment is available for free on the website, and these are questions. It's basically questions that you need to ask of yourselves before you go to pitch anybody. And these are questions that are the big strategic questions about your business. To build a successful company, you're going to have to ask these questions. In addition, we have recently launched 1M1M Basic, which is a curriculum-only $99 a month subscription to the 1M1M program. People wanted, some of our community members wanted a way to get into the program without committing right away for the premium program, and they wanted to start with the curriculum, and that's fine with us. You can go start with 1M1M Basic and start studying the curriculum. If you have time that you can put in 1 month, you can do 50 hours worth of work, and you would have got more than what you pay for this curriculum subscription within a month. So we're very confident. We've been using this curriculum now for over 5 years to train entrepreneurs. We're very confident about it, and you'll learn a ton just from going through it. So if you want to use that as your starting point, that's fine too. So if you go around the website, you'll find tons of material about all our offerings. This is a bootstrapped, capital-efficient startup methodology. Even if you raise money later, we would ask you to bootstrap first, raise money later, because that's pretty much the only way you can navigate the market the way it works today. We have over 700 case studies of successful entrepreneurs and video lectures, corresponding video lectures, extensive amount of video lecture material. That's how we teach the curriculum, by the way. And it's really powerful, inspiring material, and it's immensely educational. So I can guarantee you that if you study the curriculum in a very disciplined, rigorous way, climbing this learning curve is going to be immensely effective. That's pretty much what I wanted to share with you in terms of material about the 1M1M program. We'll take questions, so feel free to ask your questions in the public chat. While you're doing that, let me also mention the 1M1M affiliate programs. For those who are building entrepreneurship communities in different parts of the world, you're welcome to partner with us. We have 3 roundtables in May, 5th, 12th, and 19th, after which I'm traveling for a couple of weeks, so we're going to be resuming in June the free roundtables. Those of you who are working in emerging markets and are still looking for an idea to work on, Vision India 2020 is an ideation book. It not only works on the Indian market, it also works on all the emerging markets. There are lots of ideas that you can take from there and build on. Incubator in a Box is our partnership platform for corporations, governments, etc., who want to run incubation programs on top of our program, essentially. That's pretty much it as far as what I want to share with you. The call-in instructions are on your screen. If any of you have questions, comments, issues that you want to discuss, all yours. We have just about 11 minutes left. And the 1M1M Basic link is on your public chat right now for those of you who want to access that. Anybody, questions, comments? Also, I want to introduce you to Irina Patterson. If you have questions about the 1M1M program, please email Irina at 1mby1m.com. and she'll be happy to guide you through whatever issues you have. Anybody? Questions, comments? Sudhir Chakraborty says, fantastic session, thank you. Glad you enjoyed it. What are you working on, Sudhir? Have you started something, or are you looking to start something? Of course you can call in, absolutely, please. do introduce yourselves. Tell us what you're working on, what brings you here, what are you hoping to accomplish, what projects are you toying with or working on already, and where are you joining from? This is a very nice time to network as well, by the way, folks. We love to get to know you and provide a platform for you to get to know each other. No, nobody else has questions, comments? So there, are you on the call?
Yes, I'm the call.
Now you need to mute your computer, otherwise it's going to stream echo.
Yeah, is it better now?
Yes, better. Go ahead.
Cool. Yeah, so, I came with an open mind, and it's a fantastic session. I probably got this link, I got to know your company, and I was probably browsing on one of your articles in either Forbes or HBR, I don't remember.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And so where are you joining from?
Cool, and, yeah, I am based in Kolkata, India.
Okay. And
yeah,
are you working on a project right now? Are you working on a business?
Well, I am employed in a capacity where I kind of act as a change agent. I kind of take stuff from a current state to desired state from a program management standpoint. But yeah, I mean, that's the reason I'm kind of joining your forum, to understand, to hear, to learn, and someday probably I will, be in the shoes of a presenter. I have some ideas, but it's not really a construct for now or at this moment.
So Sudev, there is a pointer I have for you that you may want to consider. We are huge proponents of a methodology of startup building called bootstrapping with a paycheck. And in the Entrepreneur Journey series of books, there is a volume on bootstrapping using a paycheck that you may want to look up. We actually believe that for the beginning stages of your venture, when you're just toying with ideas, trying to validate ideas and so forth, this is a very effective way to start dipping your toes into entrepreneurship and learning what you need to learn. Even if you have a job, all this steep learning that you have to do, you can get started with all that while keeping your paycheck. You don't need to quit to get started with all that. So that's my recommendation to a lot of you who haven't yet quit your jobs but are coming here to start dipping your toes. This is a perfectly fine methodology.
Absolutely. I completely agree with you. Also, on top of it, what I feel, Sramana, is that, this learning will really help me in my job as well. Because in my current company where I work, I mean, I do give presentations on probably new business models and stuff like that. So it's amazing. So, I'm very happy that I've joined your session, and it's a great learn.
Very good. Excellent. Thank you for coming. Saurav is asking, hi Shramana, thanks for the inputs. I was curious to know what is the general strategy to go to the global market. We are in India, but we know that the appetite for Travel Spells platform is huge outside. So it's really the same thing that you do with your Indian partners who are going to provide you with your content. You're going to need to strike up partnerships with, you need to map out these destinations and go find travel operators who have the capacity and the ability and the willingness to work with you to provide you with the kind of content that you're looking for, and you go country by country and region by region and build up content. So everything that you do in your case is going to be driven by the content partnerships that you create. And that's not hard to do, actually. You can just sit in India and just develop these relationships with the travel operators in different parts of the world. It's not, you don't need to even travel for that. Anybody else? Thompson's career, very valuable advice. Where are you joining from, Thompson? And what are you working on? From Kochi, okay, excellent. Folks, we also like to know where you heard about us from. So if you haven't provided that in the registration, do let us know. How did you arrive here and with what objective? What are you working on? Thompson, do you have a project scoped out yet? Order-to-cash platform for SMEs that enables activity-based lending. Okay. So is this something like a lending club, or is it more an on-deck capital, cabbage kind of platform? Are you familiar with on-deck and cabbage? And then the other thing that it's K-A-B-B-A-G-E. You should look up K-A-B-B-A-G-E. That is probably one of the closest, that and on-deck capital are the two closest approximations of what you are thinking about. And then you need to really understand what are the regulatory hurdles. FinTech ventures in India are dealing with huge regulatory hurdles. So please pay attention to what kind of regulatory issues you're going to be having to tackle to be able to deliver. You don't lend, you enable lending for banks. Okay, that's an idea. So you want to sell software to the banks, essentially. The banks use that platform and transact on that platform. You're going to be enterprise software selling platforms to banks. Okay, so you want to do a marketplace where the banks and the SMEs meet. Okay, that's actually better from a regulatory point of view. Okay. Who else? Anyone else wants to share an update or a question, introduction? Yeah, I got that. We understand what you're doing, Thompson. You're very welcome. Good luck. All right, folks, looks like, oh, here's one more. Balaji Kamineni, thank you for the session. Came to know about you from a Coursera session by John Mullins. Balaji from Chennai, team of 3 started a SaaS-based product development company called Zeta Minds, with the first product being a cloud-based digital signage software. Okay, welcome. Feel free to come and pitch at one of the upcoming sessions. Happy to learn more and give you feedback. Anybody else? All right, folks, then we're going to adjourn for today, and we'll be back here next week. And hopefully some of you are going to sign up and present, and we'll have a chance to discuss more in more detail each of your businesses. Talk to you soon. Thank you very much. Bye, everybody.